Hello everyone, my name is Teacher Lena and welcome to my channel. I'm an online teacher and my channel is all about my experiences teaching online. So if you like to learn more about teaching online and just hear about companies or resources that I've used in my journey, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I put out videos each week. And in this video, I wanted to talk to you about companies that you can expand your teaching hours with. So these are companies that teach outside of those typical Beijing peak time hours that several companies will teach to. So these companies teach outside of those hours, so you can expand your teaching day and add, maybe if you're looking for more full-time work, well, this could possibly help you do that. So I've got about 5 companies here. Yeah, and for most of them, you will need to have an ESL certificate and a bachelor's degree. If you don't have an ESL certificate, I do have a link to one in my description box. It is for a TESOL and it's relatively inexpensive. It's $19. You can finish it in a few hours. So I would look into that. But for most of these companies, you will need to have that. But the one that you don't need it for is Cambly. Cambly is one company that you can teach all throughout the day, adults and children, and you don't need to have a bachelor's degree or an ESL certificate to teach with them. It's a wonderful thing. It's about $10 an hour to work with them, but you have complete flexibility to teach whenever you want. So that's awesome. I love teaching with Cambly because there's so many interesting people all over the world that you can meet. In Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Brazil, just so many different places. So it's a real cool company to work for. That's Cambly. The next one is Online Kids Academy, and they teach to children who are in Turkey. So you're going to be having those Turkey peak time hours when the children are awake. So it's outside of those Beijing peak time hours. So it's Online Kids Academy. They pay about $13 an hour. They have large group classes and small group classes, and they don't require feedback. Along with Cambly, you don't need to have feedback with Cambly. You just talk with people and you can help them with different lessons. But yeah, Online Kids Academy, you don't have any feedback. Then there's NovaKid. NovaKid teaches to kids who are in Russia, who are in Poland, Turkey, Germany, Spain, and other countries. And you don't need to have a native English accent in order to teach with them. You can have a near native English accent to work with NovaKid. Then EF also teaches outside of the Beijing peak time hours. You could teach to adults and kids when you work with EF. EF stands for English First. So you can work with adults and kids. And yeah, you can teach throughout the day and night. It just depends on when the children are awake, because most of the children will be in Asia countries. So you will have to be only teaching to the children when they're awake, and then the adults when they're asleep. So something to keep in mind. And the pay changes a little bit when you teach to adults as opposed to teaching with children too. So something to keep in mind. But it's worth looking into. Also, iTutor Group. You can teach with iTutor Group all throughout the day and night. You would teach to the children during those Beijing peak time hours, and then and also outside of those hours. But when those children go awake, then you go to sleep, then you're teaching to adults. So something to keep in mind if you teach in the. For me, if I teach in the afternoon, I'm teaching to children. I live in the Central Standard Time Zone, so I would teach to children in the afternoon, to adults in the afternoon, and to children in the early morning hours. So something to keep in mind. But with iTutor Group, they do accept people who don't necessarily have a native English accent. You could be near native, have a near native English accent with them. And yeah, that's iTutor Group. So this was just to give you a listing of companies that you can work with if you're just looking to expand your hours and to work outside of those Beijing peak time hours. and not necessarily teach to adults or children. There's these companies you can teach to, adults or children. So I hope this was helpful for you, and thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.